Okay, Drew, have I got the topic for you here off to kick us off? So yesterday, there was this big storm's rolling in, going across the United States, and we were like, oh, let's go get our groceries and stuff, just in case the off chance that something happens. So we go out, the cats had to go to the vet in the morning. They're not happy about that, let me tell you. They were not happy about that. They did not like leaving this apartment. So, go to the vet, come back, drop the cats off, go to the grocery store, go to Costco. And
Okay.
I think I've mentioned it before, but I have one cat who has IBS. She's got a messed up stomach. So
Okay.
she struggles. She won't use the litter box most of the time because her tummy hurts so bad that it must be the litter box's fault.
That does make sense.
It does make sense, exactly. I would think the same thing if I was a little dumb furball. And so we come back, and the second the door opens, it just wall as you're like, it
Ooh.
smells like poop in here. Oh no, why? And we didn't really know the source for a few seconds, but
Well, I'd like to think you probably weren't thinking it was your wife. You were probably thinking it was one of your cats.
well, let me tell you. Have I ever mentioned that we have a Roomba?
Oh no! Please, it's not where you're going.
So
Oh God.
we come in, and the Roomba has decided, oh, I must clean up this mess, as it has
Dear
rolled
God.
through the cat poop and stunk up the whole apartment, the entire thing. Like the
God.
whole place just smells awful. And so I was like, okay. And at this point, I do not care about the Roomba. I'm not mad at the cat because she doesn't know. But how? It's on the last room. This thing runs for less than an hour. How do you poop in its path? It has the same path like every time. How do you poop in its path? Unless you decided, you know what? They took me to the vet today. I'm done with them. Right in the Roomba's path. And so I decided. I was like, okay, it's okay, cat. You know, you're fine. And I have to clean now, so cleaning the poop off the floor is easy. That's the easy part. You just get all of it wiped up, and then take the little mop and the little Swiffer, you mop that spot, and then you're all set. So that part was easy, but the bottom of the Roomba was covered, and I was like, all right, what am I gonna do here? I took this Roomba to the sink. I didn't even turn it off. I flip it over. I put it down in the sink. I turn that thing on spray and I go all over the bottom of that
washed
Roomba.
Roomba?
I washed my Roomba, and I told Gabby, I was like, this thing doesn't avoid anything. This is its fault for running over the poop. If it dies here, it's okay.
So I'm going to punish my Roomba.
I punished
right here,
I
just
punished the
spray it
Roomba.
down.
Yes, I punished the Roomba, and so I had to take all the parts off because there are removable parts, and I put them in the dishwasher. I was like, those will just go in here. Finally, after doing all of
It's
this,
still going. This is still going.
yeah,
Okay,
finally
all
after
right.
doing all this, I set the Roomba down. And it's making weird noises. I was like, oh, did I mess it up for real? Like,
No.
did I kill it? Is it like on its last legs? So I was like, I don't want to deal with this right now. I took it in our guest bathroom that's just basically has a bunch of cleaning supplies in it, and no one ever goes in it. I go in there, I set it in the sink, and said, have fun drying off. I walk away.
God.
So then today, I was like, okay, I have work tomorrow. I said I was going to leave this thing here for like 2 days to dry, but I'm going to check it today. I check it, I set it down, I put it on the charger, I turn it on because I had turned it off after washing it. And so then I set it down on the ground, I start it, it works fine.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, power to you for putting that Roomba in its place, first of all.
Thank you. No one ever says that.
I will mention, you said it was easy to clean. Now, I'm thinking, when you started telling the story, and you mentioned the smell hit you, the whole apartment's terrible, right? Not to give, great visuals to everybody listening, but I'm thinking, essentially, your apartment was basically the canvas, and this Roomba just painted it. Oh, that's what I was getting at, and what I was worried about, but it sounds like that was not the case.
It seems like it was
Okay.
near the end of the routine, so it was like going back to the dock anyways, and so it only dragged it like a few feet.
Okay, so then that brings us to the next thing. This cat did poop in the path, like you were talking about, to which case your cat is an adrenaline junkie and is all about just crapping right in this thing's path, like knowing that the train or the car is coming, but you just have to take the dump in the middle of the
This is
road.
the second
Kind of
time this
vibe.
has happened.
Really?
Yeah, this
Okay,
has
so they're
happened.
getting good.
This has happened one other time, and it was bad that time. It was all around this office, and so that one was bad. But yeah, it sucks because our other cat uses the litter box just fine. Just this one does not trust it. It's like she pees in it, but when it comes to pooping, don't trust
I
it.
mean, that's how I feel about toilets too, so I get it.
Okay, you don't poop in the toilet.
Not always, it just depends on like how distrustful I am that day of the toilet, you know?
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. Sometimes when you experience pain near the toilet, you do associate it.
Like, oh man, that's terrible. But
Yeah.
if the cat's done this twice now, the third time, you may find the crap on top of the Roomba, which would be even more impressive. I'm
I
just saying,
would
if
I
that
would be
happens, you should give your cat a treat because
I
that's
would
really
be
cool.
impressed with that one, but I think that would actually break it because I cleaned the bottom, the spot where like the mop stuff is, like that's fine. You can probably clean most of that, but cleaning the top where all the switches and things are, I feel like would and the sensors, I feel like that would be a little more dangerous.
Nah, I'll be fine. Just spray it down. It'll be good.
Yeah, I will say that Shinx, she did a great job. Pretty lucky that she put it right in our path, you know what I'm saying? And I think that will segue nicely into our topic of luck in D&D today.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, totally.
It's a good
Perfect
makes sense
segue there.
segue.
Top quality there. 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars is what good old gamer would give this show over on
Woo!
patreon.com/table talk Friday. So today we're going to talk a little bit about luck and how you can associate kind of dice with being your good die, your bad die, and wondering if any of this actually makes sense. So Drew, I know you're a big fan of washing the dice jails, thing like that. So why don't you just lead me into this?
So I'm just gonna spoil the whole episode right here. There is superstition around these die, and there is luck, and you absolutely have to find your niche to make it work, right? You're correct. Mine is washing the dice. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. I don't remember what caused it, what terrible situation I found myself in where I TPK'd the party or died one of my 3 or 4 times in campaigns. But I decided at one point, these dice are dirty. These dice are terrible. They give me disgusting, nasty rolls. So I'm gonna go wash them. And so if it gets real bad in a session, and I roll several times in a row, and it's just real poopy garbage, and my teammates are relying on me, I will take those dice into the kitchen and I will wash those things, dry them off, give them a little shake, give them a little blow, right, and then roll it. And if it's still bad, that there's nothing that can be done, right? But cleaning the bad juju off dice is real. It is a real thing. It has helped me, and it fixes my rolls in the long run. It absolutely does. Now, Seth, I'm sure you believe in this too. I'm sure you do this all the time. What is your favorite soap to use on your dice? Would you say Ajax or you're more of a like a Dawn kind of guy?
I have seen you wash these dice, and every time I've said, Drew, come back to the table. Because when we lived in the same apartment, you would get up like multiple times in the session because you rolled like a nat one a couple times as the same character and go wash
Yeah.
your dice, and then you'd come back and roll again, and it would be the same or worse.
See, but that was just so the human condition, right? The human
Right,
mind
right.
is meant to think of negative situations over positive. So you won't
Mm.
always think of all the positive roles that I've had or the positive situations, but you will think of the worst of the worst, right? So you're thinking of those moments where I did wash the die, came back, and it was still terrible, which I was probably using the wrong soap. So it was probably on me that I didn't
Oh,
fix
no,
the
that
luck.
makes
Yes,
sense.
exactly.
I
Exactly.
I think I would use like maybe like a dial or a dawn, whatever I had around there. Just the cheap stuff.
See, I find that the dial is not bad, but I think the dial really is more for like the 15 to 19 range. And I'm really
Mm.
looking for those nat 20s that the Dawn gives me.
Yeah.
So
I,
definitely top tier Dawn.
do you think it's because of like the extra bubbles and stuff that the Dawn does? Because the dish soap, like it's dish soap versus hand soap most of the time. So like if you're breaking out
Yeah,
the Dawn dish soap, it gives you the extra bubbles, the more weightlessness.
I think it has something to do with like weaknesses, to be honest with
Oh,
you. So
okay.
like some things in D&D are weak to fire or they're resistant to fire, whatever it may be, right? So I'm thinking in D&D, whatever creatures I'm fighting or whatever role I need to do, it's probably vulnerable to soap damage. Things that would be
Mm.
washed like constructs, probably extra effective against constructs, I would imagine. Things like that.
Okay.
To which case, that deck you're thinking of, I don't think we were fighting constructs, which is why it didn't work.
I can tell you,
Um,
constructs are weak to soap when you wash your Roomba.
that is true. But see now, if we were fighting ducks, I don't know if you've ever seen a duck on a Dawn commercial. Those things are killing it. Those things are
Oh,
thriving.
okay.
Probably pretty resistant. So we may have been fighting, aquatic creatures, something like that, right? But I think in all seriousness, to me, right, that's my like cope, right? So everybody's been playing a session for, an hour or two, whatever it may be, and you're just rolling like I'm gonna say cat crap to
Yeah.
really just kind of go with the episode here. Rolling like cat crap, and it's just not working. Right, you're rolling those ones. Your party needs you. Like you're just not hitting those shots. Your combos aren't working. The things you want to do, it's just creatively nothing's flowing right. Right, and you got to
Right.
You got to just shake it off. It's just like if you ever played a video game too. Sometimes I get kind of heated halfway through a video game. Let's say I've been playing for an hour and I'm just dying time after time. It's not working. You got to take a little break, get a little bit of food in you, get a drink, right? You just got to get the refresh. So to me, or I think to a lot of people, these superstitions are, let's just take a step back, let's kind of restart, re-get the level of the head, the balance of my mind.
So it's like your
and
form
go
of like
next.
centering yourself almost in the session.
Yes, getting my chi all balanced.
Okay.
It unfortunately does not give me any more key points if you're a monk, but I do feel like it does channel all your energy into the next roll.
So I will say, I'm not fully on board with the washing the dice deal, but I do heavily believe that some of my dice are better than others. Like,
Oh, I am very aware that some of them are better than the others.
so in my hand right now, it wasn't at my table the other day, but I have my blue die. This is, anybody can buy this. If you go to almost any game store, Chessex blue. It's that deep, beautiful blue. Sean and I both bought this as our first set of dice, and both of us were just on a string of rolling amazing with this thing. There have been times where I've rolled more than one natural 20 against my players in the same combat and been like, it's because I'm using the blue die, I need to switch it, and it has adjusted things well. Also, it listens when I call numbers. Exhibit A. Here, I'm gonna roll it, right? I'm gonna call it, let's say it's a 16. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm gonna show you on the camera.
No way! You're kidding me!
It's a 16 right here. Now, for the audience, you can't see this,
disgusting.
but it does listen whenever you tell it what to do. I just showed Drew over my webcam that I did roll a 16 after calling it, and it is recorded for the first time. So this is a real phenomenon.
Oh my God, I would love to say that was scripted, and 1 in 20 chance, right? But the luck that Seth has in his life, just like random things, random situations that happen where he can just call something like that, it happens all the time.
Yeah,
so I think there's definitely a part of Seth that's in the die.
Is this when we tell the Chick-fil-A story?
Oh, about the freaking ice cream?
I don't think I've told that on air. Have I ever?
I feel like it does kind of segue well what we're talking about, and it talks about the luck that you have with your die.
Right.
I think this is an appropriate.
Right. The relationship I have with my die is the same that I have with the Chick-fil-A ice cream I got that day. So one time in college, we're all hanging out, right? We're all hanging out, and what do you do in college when it's past 9 p.m.? I don't know if it was past 9 p.m., but it was evening time, and everyone's like, oh, you know what? Let's just go out and get some ice cream. And we were all like, yay, let's go get some ice cream. And then along the way in deciding what we were getting, we decided actually we're going to go to Chick-fil-A and we'll get like some milkshakes or something from there because no one was really craving the cookout milkshakes. It was like, we're going to go to Chick-fil-A because some people wanted food, some people wanted the blah, blah, blah. We get there and I decide, you know what? I want like actual food. I'll just not go to the cafeteria tonight. I will get real food at Chick-fil-A and I'll get my ice cream. So we're there. I walk up and I'm talking about my milkshake. I said I was going to get a milkshake and I ended up not, but the whole way I'm just talking about it. I'm mentioning it over and over again. I'm like, I'm so excited for this milkshake, for this ice cream. Any kind of ice cream right now from Chick-fil-A, I'm very excited for. And then I get up there and I completely forget to order it. Like I walk up and I don't know if it was like I saw someone in the back and saw them making their food, but I was like, all right, I'm going to order this. Completely forgot to order the ice cream, walked away, and I'm standing there and I'm like, oh man, guys, I didn't get my ice cream. I forgot. And they were like, "Oh, well, why don't you just go up and get it?" And I was like, "Yeah, maybe in a second. I don't know if I should. I kind of embarrassed. I don't want to walk back up and order again." And so we're all standing there. Everyone gathers around. We're standing in a circle like a bunch of jerk face college students, and our food all comes out. And then the person who served us walks out and goes, "Hey, you guys, does anyone here want this ice cream? I accidentally made an extra one." And everyone looks at me. Like in that second, everyone looks at me because I've been talking about it. I've been complaining how I forgot to order my ice cream. And it wasn't, I know what you're thinking, audience. You're thinking they heard you and they just made you one and brought it out because you quote unquote forgot to order it. No, they did not. This person was in the back. Like it's one of the people way in the back. And they came walking from the back, like by the drive-through stuff, out immediately to us without stopping and talking over to our group. I know because I watched them because I saw that they had ice cream and I was longing for it.
I like that you were watching this person and longing for the ice cream. You still didn't order it.
Yeah, and then they walked over and they gave it to me for free, and I ate the ice cream and it was awesome.
So and that perfectly translates into the luck of your die, because I think part of the luck of your die is just within your soul. You know,
yes.
Like I think you have some of it within your being.
Heart of the card, Yu-Gi-Oh. You know.
Do you think that's why? Now, I guess I haven't asked, Seth. Do you have? Don't tell me what it is, but do you have like a thing that you do with your die at all? Like any sort of weird, unique thing that helps you or makes you feel better about your rolls?
No. Like in general, I don't think about it when I roll. I just kind of throw it.
Maybe that's why. Maybe you're just channeling your inner energy then. So everybody else needs to use your die energy, but you're just using your own inner luck.
Well, and
so you're pulling the power from somewhere else.
What's crazy about that 16 that I did too was I almost said 19. But the words, the 6 rolled off the tongue better there, and I just threw it and it happened. But I almost said like 3 different numbers.
Have you? Now this is going to be, I'm going to get really specific with this. We've played with some magic items in D&D that have been cursed, right? We've heard, things speak to us, right? Or like the little worm rings that we wore one time that tried to make us fight each other, right?
Yeah.
Now, you said you were thinking about a 19, but you said 16.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of you rolling the dice, do you think the dice are rolling you?
Oh, yeah, maybe it is enchanted or something.
It could be cursed.
Because
it could be cursed.
You know what? Because we've talked about dice. We talked about it a little bit last week too. You usually buy like the cheap dice, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This set of dice was like $12.
Oh no!
Yeah,
you can get
the blue,
like a whole bunch of sets for $12.
Yeah, but do they listen when you tell them what to do?
That is true. They don't listen to me. That is true.
I don't have to wash this die. It just always does what I want.
Okay. I feel like we're learning some things here, right? You don't require the luck. I do, and I have one way of kind of coping with it. Another way of coping with these die, you mentioned in the intro, which was die jails, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We use die and dice, so I don't know which one's the right one, and I'm just gonna use them both interchangeably. And you could complain on Patreon if you'd like with Good Old Gamer. That'd be super cool. But dice jails, I don't particularly have one. I know people that do, and I know there's a million different varieties. And if you're not familiar with the concept of a dice jail, it's just a place or a thing that you put your die in after they suck at rolling for a time, right? I've seen people roll natural ones and immediately just take that thing and go, absolutely not. There's little cages, there's like little boxes you can put them in. I've seen people with those little like dunce caps, the little white hat,
yes,
and they'll put it on top of it. It's so funny. There's so many variations of them, and a lot of them actually are pretty expensive, but it could be anything. It could be metaphorical. It could be like that side of your desk is absolutely. I'm never pulling this thing.
I would love to like suspend mine in front of the camera by like a chain jail or something.
Ooh,
that would be cool.
Kind of like in the old like cartoon movies where someone's in a dungeon. They're like in one of those cages
above the lava or something.
Yes. Oh, see, I don't have access to lava around in this area, but if I did, that would be prime.
In San Antonio, we're a lot more south, so I might be able to find like some lava around.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's snowing right now, but I mean, when's the next volcano gonna erupt? A couple days, something
Right.
like
You
that.
never know.
We'll look out for it for next time. But I don't have one. I would like to have one, but I don't want to spend $35 on one. But it would make me feel better, and I feel like that would channel my energy again into the next role.
Right,
And really,
right.
just like the Roomba, everything is full circle with this episode, right? Really punishing that die. Like, I cannot believe you rubbed cat poop all over my apartment. Get
Yes.
in this cage and stay there until you can roll me a nat 20 and one shot that lich. Okay? It does make a difference. I feel like if I could do that, it would be fantastic for my rolls and for the table.
No, I fully agree. I fully back this as well. I endorse it. And I think that now again, I don't have a dice jail. I don't have anything like that. I kind of just trust my dice. I trust what they do for me. But there's a lot of dice I never roll. I love these two dice. It's funny because I have my like Chess X ones, and then I have the ones from the Layer Silverhands like kit type deal.
Oh, yes.
Oh no,
Yes, yes.
this one's actually from the Wild Beyond the Witchlight set of dice and stuff, like all of that.
Is it the purpley orange ones?
Yeah. I love the purpley orange one. And then I do have the Layer Silverhand dice too sitting around here. I like those. And then there's another blue die. It's like a lighter blue. This was my second D20 because I wanted to have two to roll advantage. And this one is like a good middle ground. Like if the dark blue one's there and I roll those two together, they're in sync. They rolled 11, both of them. Oh my God. It's crazy. I told you, they like each other. They like to be around each other. So that's the thing. I have an affinity for like these three specifically.
And I think a lot of people do sort of have their go-to die. Like, for me, there's like 6 or 7 that I rotate through depending on who I'm playing. But, maybe another piece of this is I do like to kind of color code my die depending on what I'm playing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So for Pyth, for example, he was a divination wizard, level 20, really got up there. I always had a set of white and a set of light blue. And so to me, that's sort of, I know we've talked about the differentiation of what people think magic colors are, right? But when I think divination, I think light blue and I think white.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the perfect color coding. That's what I used for him. And I sort of retired them for a little while after I finished playing him for several years. But I break them out all the time now. So right now, currently for the session we're about to play in, I don't know, an hour and a half or so, one of the two colors I have are these white die. Probably one of my top 2 or 3 primaries go to. They roll pretty well. They don't normally fail me too bad. They did kill Pyth at one point, but I forgave them for that. We went through a whole
The story called for it,
Yeah, really the dice called for it, but
There was no plan for a death that day.
I do think you should swap your dice out depending on what you're doing. If I'm playing a ranger, I'm definitely going to have some type of green in there. Now, I got a couple greens. I got dark greens, light greens, just, what I'm feeling in the moment, right? But also, for right now, I'm playing a centaur rogue, and I am using a cheese die. You can't see my screen right now, but it's literally a
I like that
die.
one.
It looks like Swiss cheese. It's, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It was just rolling kind of good, so I roll with it. Now, at any point in time, if I start rolling like absolute dog trash, or cat trash, I should say, with this die, I will stop using it and cycle it out for something else.
Yeah, of course.
You just gotta keep the rotation flowing, I think, which is important. I know last episode we literally just talked about not buying a whole lot of stuff. But if you are gonna buy some stuff, you can super cheaply invest like $10-15, just a couple bags of die that you could cycle through. You could
go on Amazon, spend $20, and you'll have 10 sets of dice
Yeah.
for the rest of your life. I agree with characterizing, though. I think it's fun whenever you get those sets, because I don't remember where exactly I got this yellow die from, but I use it for Jean a lot of time, my cleric, because it's just a nice, divine, yellowy color. And then the secondary die is always the blue die, because it has to go along with it, Yeah, I always have that die there. When it historically just does what you say. If I'm not calling the roll, it's not always perfect, right? Like, it rolls 3s and 4s and natural ones. It's allowed to do that. But if I'm calling for it to do something, it does it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. It worked. I can't fight you on this because it does work better than any other die I've ever seen.
So, Sean's too.
Really,
like he had this superstition before we knew we had the same dice. He just started talking about his blue dice, and I said, "I have a blue die that's my great one too." And we showed each other, and we were like, "It's the same die."
I feel like that's one of those moments from a horror movie where you both realize you have the same thing, and that even if you were to try to throw it away, it would come back the next day, like in the mailbox or something. Like it's just a cursed die that's always there.
Now, yeah, no, that makes sense. But now I had one thing where I have a lot of these like Magic the Gathering life counter dice sitting around.
Mhm.
And there have been times whenever I didn't have another die, like I just happened to have one of these sitting around, but I didn't have like my set of dice, but I had my magic stuff or something.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I've rolled with them before, and I feel like historically they are the worst thing in the world. Like people are like, "Oh, well, you can cheat because you can kind of like roll straight to a high number." And I'm like, "Well, as someone who just throws their die and doesn't think about the numbers, I never do well when I'm using a life counting die." Because if you don't know, for the audience, if you don't play like a card game where you use these as a life counter, they're in order. So it's like you start on the top with your 20 and it goes down to 19, 18, 17, 16 by doing like one side at a time. So that way you can count how much life you have in a game.
Mhm.
And there, as someone who doesn't cheat and just try to roll as high as possible, it's the worst thing in the world. It's always on the low side.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't know if there's something behind it or, maybe there's some science behind it. I don't know. I have several of those Magic the Gathering die too. I don't like using them. I specifically do not use them for D&D. I think they roll terrible. And I don't know. I look at them sometimes and it feels wrong. It feels like I'm
Yeah.
using like Yahtzee dice to roll my sneak attack. It's like, well, I
Yeah.
can't do that. I can't. That's wrong.
Yeah, when I
I'm
see like a
talking
20,
D&D.
19, 16, and 13 all around the 20, I feel bad. I'm like, ew, why does it say that? Why doesn't it have an
Yeah.
8, 14, and a 2?
Yeah, no, it's super weird. Don't like it. Don't use those. However, you did mention you just throw your die. I hadn't even thought about this as a superstition or any kind of luck. Do you have like a thing? Do you just toss it randomly, or like is there a motion?
Oh yeah. So I'll show you visually and I'll describe it. So I kind of hold it up, right? I got it in my hand, my fit. Oh, look at that forearm. I mean, and I do just a
Woo!
nice little like a little shake like this, like a nice little shake, like you're doing something inconspicuous, and then
Of
just
course, of course.
toss it to the side. So toss it to my left.
Okay, so you do toss it to your left. Okay, so
Yeah.
I think we do the same thing. I'm gonna just do a little test run here. Yeah, I feel like I'm more of like a this kind of way kind of guy.
I have seen
And
you
then I
roll a
kind
lot of
of
dice, and so the way Drew was just gesturing was more of like a more vertical, maybe like a 70-degree angle, while I'm rolling it more of like a 40-degree angle.
Yeah, that is weird. Is that comfortable for you to roll like that?
So it's not. I actually lean on my left arm as I do it. So like I'm
Why not
leaning
just
to my
flip your hand?
because I could throw it down like that, yeah, or I can lean into it. Dude, listen, you saw me live on air. Call a 16 and roll it in front of you, and you're asking why I roll my dice the way I do. I don't think about it. I just do it. I act on it.
I mean, you got me. I'm just curious. I feel like I have a pretty specific way, not like a unique way or anything, but I have a pretty specific way that I will die.
And you know what?
And sometimes if it's important, I'll give it like a couple extra shakes too, but usually it's just kind of one of those.
I think we should do an experiment here. So I want you to roll it your way and tell me what number you want. Why you do it
What
your
number I
way?
want?
Yeah. What number are you going to roll here?
Now this is my white dice. These are pretty good, not
Yes.
nearly as good as the blue ones, but I'm gonna
Divination
say
wizard
I'm
die.
feeling like no portents, unfortunately. I ran out of my portents before I doing this. Let me go with I'm feeling like a 15. I feel
Okay,
like I could hit a
15. Okay, go for it. Your way.
Okay, so it's about a 6. But
Six.
do I get maybe I have a modifier or something? I don't
No,
know.
no,
but
no,
it's
no.
not
So
great.
here's now what we're gonna do. I want you to
Okay.
kind of like relaxing, lean into your left forearm, like just lean into it a little bit. Kind of lean down a little bit. Hold that
Okay.
arm out to the side at maybe like 30, 40-degree angle, and then just whip that shit across the table. And it would now see if you get
Whip
that
it?
50. Yeah, you go. Well, don't whip it. Don't like throw it so it slams against the wall and
Well, these
leaves
are important. I mean,
and
what's
leaves a
what's the
bullet
velocity
hole.
got to be?
Same velocity. Same velocity is what you just said. What's comfortable? I want you to be comfy leaning into your arm. Yeah. That looks right.
But it
That looks
feels
pretty
weird at
good.
this angle. Like my hand hurts going to this angle, leaning
Okay.
like this.
Just, don't think about it too hard. Just let your minds want, like, it's like you're meditating.
Okay, taking a deep breath here. I'm Sething it. I'm channeling my Seth.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, just a light little whip. 17.
17. Now, you
Okay.
didn't call the 17, but it did work out.
It was
Now,
closer to what I wanted, though.
it was a lot closer. It was a lot closer. So maybe I think the idea it isn't to roll it the same way that I do. It's just to channel that inner chill.
Okay, so we just treat our dice differently, is what it is, and maybe this opens up a whole new can of worms. You're kind of just letting the dice do them, and I'm like, no, dice, you're gonna do exactly what I want. Do it.
Yeah.
Kind of a situation.
Yeah.
So you catch more flies with honey than whatever else you catch honey flies with.
Catch more flies than honey than with chopsticks.
Exactly. Okay, so it's really it turns out there is some superstition as well about the actual attitude towards the die.
Yes.
Which I think is
yes.
right. I'll use that today, and then next week we'll have to report back.
Yeah.
To the podcast.
I think that's a good idea.
There is one other thing I want to bring up. Something that neither of us do. Something I don't want to say I dislike, but it sort of bothers me. Our good buddy Zach here, a frequent flyer in the podcast in the past. He, I know, gross. He, every time. Now we've played in person a lot in the past. We've moved more digitally nowadays, where we're kind of rolling physically behind our computers. But when I watch him in person at the table, he will always take all of his die out, usually a good sum of die, and then he will manually, each one by one, flip the die to their highest number.
Yes, I have seen this.
D4, put it to the 4. D20 to the D20. And it kind of upsets me, but it looks kind of nice though. I just don't feel like it helps him. I don't feel like that's channeling his chi.
So I do have something to say about this, and I will as well, like, just sit there and fiddle with it and turn all my dice to the highest number, right? I'll do that and I'll fiddle with it, but it's not like I don't have to do it every time. He has done this since I've known him and played D&D with him. Now, I actually think it works against you. I fully believe that it works against you, because every time I've done it and I've been like, I got all my D6s set up as 6s. I'm going to roll now for my guiding bolt. I'm going to roll my 4 D6s and see how much damage I do. Oh, I did 7 damage. That was a max of 24 and a minimum of 4, and I rolled 7. So I feel like every time I've done this, it has come up to where I'm like, oh, I'm doing worse because I'm being OCD about my dice all facing the highest number. And there have been many a time when I've sat there with my dice all Willy Wonky-esque, and when they're Willy Wonky-esque, what I just said, when they're Willy Wonky-esque, I feel like I can do so much better. I'm going to roll 4 D6s right now that were on the 6, a 1, a 4, and a 2. That's a 2. And voila, I guess. I don't know. That's 12, 14. So, like, average? I don't know.
Like average damage at least.
Now I'm going to try it with 6s on all of the sides. And see, this is what you get on Table Talk Friday. You get an actual case study instead. That is 5, 10, 11. 3 less if you have them all facing straight up.
Man, and 3 health, that's actually more than I had the last time I died in D&D. So it's that could have made the difference.
It's actually more than I had when I was dead.
Look, I'm just saying, there is some science. We're kind of like the Mythbusters of D&D. Maybe we should do some more.
People say that.
Run some hypothesis. I have heard that on the interwebs. And actually, I was just speaking with a good old gamer the other day, and he was actually telling us how well and scientifically thought out our podcasts are. And I just thanked him. I was like, man, thank you so much for really recognizing how much effort we put into these podcasts and really just push forth those mathematics and sciences. And we're pushing the facts to you guys. Okay, no fake news here. This is good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just got a 14 again, re-rolling with all Willy Wonky-esque. And I think that's a good number for, especially if they're vulnerable. That's 28. If they're sensitive, I mean, not sensitive, but resistant. That's if you're sensitive, it makes you sad to get hit by radiant damage.
I like that that's an extra condition. If you're sensitive to something, it does the exact same amount of damage, but you're sad afterwards as well.
So, last but not least, this isn't even die related, but accessory related. I'm going to test this thing out today. So today, this is a Magic the Gathering like life counter. It goes from 0 to 99. And I'm going to count my life on it in front of me today and see if that's enjoyable or not, to have it physically on a little spinner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how do you go ahead and start spinning it, and then tell
Yeah.
me how you feel.
Yeah, so like it feels good. It feels good and like very kinetic whenever you turn it, you know? I like the sound that it makes. I'm sure the audience can hear this through the microphone right now. But yeah, it feels really nice to spin. So I think it'll enhance the gameplay for sure.
I think that was kind of top tier. I caught a little bit of it. That was kind of a crisp click.
Crisp Click, yeah.
Definitely liking that.
That was my nickname in high school, actually, Crisp Click.
Crisp click. Oh, self-appointed. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we need to start because we've already talked about Battle Tactics Tuesdays, right? Which is clearly going to be a fire podcast. We got Table Talk Friday, right? Which is clearly a banger, scientific, GOG acclaimed, right? Everyone loves this. Maybe we should do some D&D ASMR. I don't know what we call it.
I actually think we should go for, maybe we can go for Dice Dusters, Mythbusters.
Ooh, Dice Dusters is pretty good.
Dice Dusters is nice, and it's just us talking and showing off dice the whole time. I don't know, but it's on a YouTube channel or something. Yeah, Dice Dusters isn't bad. I think we can go with that.
Okay. No, I'm into it. And then if that goes well, I think we transition into like a D&D food show where we can actually take the dice and cook them into some of our favorite meals.
I was thinking D&D themed meals, and you said cook them into food. Or we make dice out of foods. Like you make a pizza die, but it's like edible.
Like the people that make cakes, but it's actually something else.
What shape is a pizza?
Usually it's a circle.
No, a slice of pizza.
A kind of a triangle. Is there a specific name for that shape? It's like a triangle, but not really. It's got like a curve to it.
It's a triangle, right? It's a triangle.
We're gonna go triangle.
So
I was in that, Mythbusters mode, man.
So what happens if you take 20 triangles and form them into a spherical shape? You get a die.
That is true. It would be a circle die.
Yeah.
Huh. So we're gonna make D&D pizza, is what
Or no, so you can make it. This is a genius idea. This is genius. So foods,
I'm on board.
Foods that you can't see through, right? So it can't be like in a lollipop or something like that. But you need a food that you can't see through, and instead of rolling dice, you instead have to consume the food to find out what number is on top of the die.
And then whatever you're feeling in your gut, like that's what you rolled?
No, you eat the food, and in the center is a die.
It's the same thing, but we're putting
like a fudge pop, right? You eat the fudge pop, and then when you get to the center, you're like, oh guys, nat 20. You show off to the camera to everybody that you got a nat 20.
Okay, so our games are going to be like minimum 12 hours. So we're going to have to just spend Sundays playing D&D.
Yeah, and you can be a dice muncher.
Dice muncher. Dice Dusters, Dice Munchers. I'm just saying, if anybody out there wants to start their own podcast, you cannot use these names. We have stolen them. These are our intellectual property. We will be releasing these within the next year. So,
yeah, correct. Absolutely. Thank you for listening to Table Talk Friday, a D&D podcast. You know where you can get more of this? Over on patreon.com/Table Talk Friday, where you can join in and get access to our exclusive post show that we're going to record right after this. Usually we're like catching up, talking about D&D, video games, whatever we've been up to that week. Last week we told a really cool story about one of the craziest sessions Drew has ever been a part of. I was not there. I had the flu. So yeah, go on over to patreon.com/Table Talk Friday. But for now, I need Dice Dustin to take me out.
I imagine Dice Dustin just speaks through dice.
Oh, I love that we can't hear
any of that at all.
No, can't hear any of it.
Imagine Dice Dustin shaking his dice.
No, we can just describe. Imagine, yeah, there's just some dice. They're shaking in his hands, and then there's subtitles. Thanks for watching.